Hello. So I've been asked to do a video of how I create my dream budget. And dream budget is basically that. You just make a list of all the things that you want to do throughout a month or a year or whatever. Find out how much it costs. And for me, I pretty much have it by the time I do the first total. It's how much it would cost to do all these things within a year. I do this also for my personal and my professional life. And so on this paper, I have personal and my coaching business. And so for this time around, because I've done this dream budget 4 times, I'm taking into account paying off my credit card debts so I can apply that money to paying off my school loans. And then I have also some basic things. I have a savings account that's pretty substantial to fund some other projects that I have going on. Food, gas. We have a guy that cuts our yard. My school loans, my cell phone bill. Having petty cash. I very rarely. I don't think. Sometimes it's really helpful to have petty cash instead of having to use my credit cards or my check cards all the time. Yoga. Um, Having a vacation twice a year, like mandatory twice a year. And I was really quite kind to myself on that. Having a housekeeper, yes, please, thank you. And then vet and pet supplies. And so some of these numbers, um, it's they're like, okay, it's not a bad number. It's like a little over 90,000 just for personal. And then for my coaching business, VA incorporation in the state of Tennessee, it's $300 to file. Graphic designer, lawyers. I know, for just different things, like, as far as, contracts and do I need one retainer and, things like that. A couple of my coaches have masterminds that it's more cost effective to pay for annual than monthly. Software, advertising, accountants, because in my dream budget, I'm making enough that I have to pay quarterly. And if you're making enough that you have to pay quarterly, you're doing good. And domain renewal, things like that. So basically, just added each column up. The first number is yearly, and then I broke it down by how much the expenses are per month, how much they are per week, and how much they are per day. And one of the things I noticed the first time that I did this was like, oh, that's actually not a bad number. Even all the things that I wanted to do, and I've actually taken some things off since that first version of my dream budget. And even now, it's just like, that's not bad. And it's just, I think it took a lot of worry and anxiety away. I had to do a lot of self care the first time that I did this budget. Remember listening to my favorite music playlist on my iPod just to keep just keep me from like completely I having to do just having just kind of like having like myself shut down in the middle of the process, because sometimes when I feel overwhelmed, one of the things that I've noticed is my brain stops processing what I'm trying to read. Like I functionally become illiterate. So that didn't happen. So yay! And I was just really just kind to myself. I took my time. I was just, I went along with the process. A lot of feelings of, aside from anxiety and fear of like figuring out what the number could possibly be before actually having the final number, was just worthiness issues and just things like that. But actually doing the work of just simply adding numbers together, multiplying and adding numbers together, just like it just took a lot of fear away. And so it was basically really beneficial, something so incredibly unsexy, but so incredibly necessary, just do for you. Um, and so I suggest, when you do this, just be really kind to yourself. Just do lots of comforting things. Like, I think the next time we're going to do this, it's just, my favorite tea, my favorite candles and my incense lit, listening to my favorite music, which it won't even really be a big deal. It's gotten to a point where it's actually kind of fun. I look forward to seeing what the numbers, what numbers I crunch the next time. And so after I do my dream budget of expenses, I wrote on a piece of paper, I kind of listed all of my services, and then just different price scenarios if I charge for a different amount. And for me, I have a maximum amount of like group and one-on-one coaching that I'm going to have at any one time. One, because it seems kind of weird to me to be a self care coach and burning myself out trying to coach a bunch of people. It's not going to serve me, it's not going to serve my clients. So I have a maximum number of people that I coach at any one time. So I have, that maximum number times different price points. Um, since, I'm about to launch this, 8-week course, it's a little less than it will be than if, had this course going for about a year. So, what are the total numbers look like if I sell out the launch, if I only get like half, if I got like, not that many, and even like, you know, first phase, like lowest price point, it's like, oh, well, okay, that's not bad. And then, second phase, like the next like highest price point, I'm like, even if I didn't sell as many, it's just like it just took a lot of fear of what was possible. And I even did it, according like payment plans and things like that. I just at that point I was like, this isn't scary, why not? And then I also made sure to factor in self-employment tax. I got really conservative, and I'm going to do a 35%. Um, Take that amount from each enrollment and put it in a business savings account. So when it comes time to write a check to the IRS, I'm not like, oh my god, I can just pull it out of my business savings account and write the check. And what I've heard from other coaches who have done this, they actually have a little bit left over from being so conservative. Plus, what interest is there that they're able to just go on a nice vacation. I figure for me, I will probably take like an all day spa or get a massage, or I don't know. I'm actually just looking forward to just thinking up some really I actually thought about like some ideas of what I'm going to do with the extra money, or I might just leave it there. I don't know, but at least it'll be there, so that's cool. And then another thing that I did, I printed out this blank calendar from blankcalendar2017.com, and I'm just going to block off, probably like I'm going to block off my anniversary, my wedding anniversary, my birthday, my husband's birthday. Sometimes during the year when we're pretty sure we're going to be traveling a lot, especially during the holidays with family and everything. And that helps me kind of block out, when I'm going to launch, you know, the next set of like one-on-ones and groups, because they're kind of going to be kind of together. And that's just a really good start. That's kind of where I am right now. And I feel good knowing that it'll change and being okay with it changing. Um, and so that's kind of it. If you guys have any questions or any thoughts or comments or anything like that, please feel free to post it below. And I thank you so much for watching. Oh, another thing that occurred to me when I was figuring out the maximum number to do things, I realized um, because I was devoting so much time to doing different types of like coaching, what I wasn't able to do, like for my distance Reiki, since it's in two parts, I wasn't able to do them as much as to provide as many as I could. And I don't think I would have realized that until I started to do this work, which is really good because it prevents me from possibly overwhelming myself with too much work by scheduling too many of those types of calls. So that was another thing that I noticed. So thanks again and take care. Bye.